I'm up in the Lake District and I've come to Seathwaite so I can hike to two locations. I've got two locations in mind for this video. Number one is Stockley Bridge, which is a nice little old packhorse bridge that has a waterfall running under it. And the other is Taylor Gill Force. Now I've got about a mile and a half to walk. As you can see, it is very cold, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm sniffling. I do have issues with the cold. Lessons have been learnt from the past. When we went to Langdale to Thorneside Force, I should have took my hiking poles with me. I've actually brought them with me today. Still wish I had an ice axe, but I don't. But this should do. This should do nicely. There's a stunning waterfall up on the mountain behind me here. I did get a photograph of that before, but not only a handheld shot, nothing special. Now with Taylor Gill Force, I have no idea what I'm going to face when I'm getting there. I don't know what kind of shot I'm going to get. I'm on in my hiking boots, so I won't be getting in the water, but it's going to be a new location. Now, I've been to Stockley Bridge before, and I've seen Taylor Gill on the way past. This is kind of the long way up Scarfell Pike. You go over. You can go on a. You can either go directly or you can go on like a horseshoe. So beautiful location. It's a shame the weather's really closed in on us. We're getting a bit of clag on the mountains, so there's a bit of cloud coming down. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. But I've got about a mile's work to do, so let's get to it. First location, it's just behind me there, it's the bridge. You can see crossing the river there, and there's a nice waterfall in front of it. And as you can see, you've got the hills covered in snow behind it. And what I'd like to do, I'd like to pull those mountains in and get a shot of them with the bridge in situ. To do that, I'm going to have to use the zoom function on my lens. And I'm going to have to try and find a composition that serves that purpose. The next location is up in that gully there. That big waterfall that you'd have seen on the B-roll before. Now there's a few nice falls in front of it. From what I can tell, I'm going to have to walk down there, up through that gate and up that way, and get into that little bit of woods that's up there. And hopefully that'll lead me to the main waterfall in an image. Now, this is where I've seen it before. I've seen it from this path, but I've never been over to it. Now, I consider that something of a loss because it looks absolutely stunning. Let's go and get set up for the bridge down there. I'll get a composition, get myself set up, and then I'll talk you through my thinking. Okay, so I've made it down to the water itself. I'm in front of the bridge and in front of the waterfall. Now, I found the focal length, I found the distance I need to be, and I found the focal length I need. I'm between 50 and 70 millimeters on the focal length, and I'm about 10, maybe 15 meters away from the bridge. I've got the mountain just showing in the composition in the background, and I've got the water snaking up nicely in the image, leading to the bridge and up to the mountain. The problem I've got is the mountain's now become all clagged in. I'm hoping if I wait for a few minutes patiently, I'm hoping that will clear up, but looking at the rest of the mountains, I'm not holding much hope. Let me talk you through the composition. As you can see, I've got the ridge and the waterfall there, and I've got that mountain in the background. If I turn the camera on, you can see on the camera, or I hope you can see on the camera, it's not focusing well. You have a snaking waterfall up here, the bridge here, and just peeking over, you've got the mountains. Now those mountains at the moment aren't looking too impressive because of that clag. Basically it just looks like blown out sky. If that mountain clears up and we start to see it again, that should make for a good shot. We'll see what happens. Either way, I've taken the shot. If I do get the next shot, I will put it up as well. I'm taking the glare off the water with the polarizer as usual. I'm also bringing down the exposure with my polarizer, and the settings will come up with the photo. Once that's come up, we'll be making our way up to Taylor Gill, which I'm hoping I can make it to. But it looks like it's a hard walk, and if it's in any way dangerous, I'm not risking it. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to try though, because it's a damn beautiful waterfall. So I hate having to give up on a location, especially a waterfall as magnificent as that. But I think the only way to it is either up the mountain and across to it and look down on it, or to get an image of it from the path over there. Now I've just made it to, as you saw on the B-roll, I made it to those trees over there. It's basically just one big line of fence like this beside me, and looking at the path up to the waterfall there as well, it's all fenced off, which means somebody doesn't want you going near it. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know whether it's private land or if somebody's injured themselves there, but it means I can't actually get to that waterfall today. However, I am going to come back when I've got a drone. I'm going to fly the drone up there and get the photo I want. That's the problem with these new paths, new places. They're because they're new to me, I have no idea where I'm going or how to get to them, so I'm basically finding the path while I actually do it. And this is what I've failed at for now. Definitely got to get myself a drone. Not going to be disheartened though. I think I can get a nice image of it from up on the path over there. Looking back, zoom in a bit, I'll get a kind of environmental in situ in the mountains. So I'm going to make my way back to the path. A little sad to have given up on this one, but without checking maps and without a drone, I'm going to have to accept this one's a failure. But it's a learning experience. Let's get back to the path and get a photo from up there. Okay, so I've made it back to the path. I'll show you quickly what I'm looking at here. That's to show I've got the waterfall. I've got the waterfall coming down in the image there. I've got this tree just making up a bit of foreground interest. I've got these trees surrounding it. All in all, that's creating an environmental image of that waterfall. Now it is really windy, so I'm going to cut this section now and come back to you down there where it's a bit more sheltered. It's somewhat annoying, but I made it to where those two trees were there. Now looking at the distance I covered from the bridge, I must have made it 3/4 of the way to the waterfall, only to be stopped by a fence. Is somewhat infuriating that I managed to get 3/4 of the way there just to be stopped by a goddamn fence. I don't know whether that fence was put there for safety or what, but I had a bit of a walk around it because I didn't really want to give up, but I couldn't see any way to bypass that fence at all. Not without going up. I didn't want to do that because it's a long way to go up just to find out you can't get anything or do anything. However, I'm going to get a shot. I'm going to maybe come back in summer because it's not that difficult to trek. I don't have to come back to about here anyway, and I'll send the drone up straight across from here. Won't be as much wind, it'll be warmer, and whatever drone I get can cover that distance. It's only about a mile, if that. It's less than a mile. Unless that waterfall's really big, it's only about half a mile away. There isn't a drone in the world that can't cover that. So that's what I'll have to do, unfortunately. Now, I did consider scrapping off the Stockley Gill part of the, not Taylor's Gill part of the video, simply because it was a failure. But it's important to remember that we have failures too, and not every photo shoot I go on succeeds, and not every photo shoot I go on gets a video either. Sometimes I do scrap videos simply because it fails, or I just simply don't want to make a video. Oh, I'm very much photography first. Either way, I've enjoyed coming out today. It's been a beautiful Been a beautiful walk, despite it being cold. It's an absolutely stunning location. I get the feeling it would be nice in autumn here. There's a lot of trees that could shed some colour in the landscape. Just walk through this miniature stream. Try not to get my feet wet. Yeah, I get the feeling something could really be made of this location. Right now in winter though, it looks pretty bleak. It needs the snow up on the hills to actually break up the bleakness of it. I'm reasonably happy with the photos I've got. I'm just really disappointed I didn't get to that waterfall. It's somewhat annoying me. But there are going to be options, so we'll come back when those options are available. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be last in my series from the Lake District this week, although I am aware that you'll be watching this one in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. Not sure how many videos I got this weekend. So hopefully you'll join me in the next one. In the meantime, bye for now.